Peter denies Jesus. A cartoon-style script. Chapter 1. The arrest of Jesus scene. A dark night in the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus is surrounded by soldiers, torches flickering, swords gleaming. Peter, standing close, grips his sword tightly. Soldier, gruffly, you are under arrest. Jesus of Nazareth, Jesus, calmly, this is your hour, the power of darkness. Peter, furious, slashes a soldier's ear. You won't take him. Jesus, stopping Peter, healing the soldier. No more of this. The soldiers bind Jesus and drag him toward the high priest's house. Peter and John exchange anxious glances, then follow at a distance. Chapter 2. The courtyard of the high priest scene. A large courtyard outside the high. A fire crackles in the center. Servants, soldiers, and onlookers warm their hands, whispering about Jesus' arrest. Peter, pulling his cloak over his head, slipping into the crowd. I need to stay hidden. Servant girl, noticing Peter's face in the firelight. Hey, you was Jesus, weren't you? Peter's eyes widen. He glances around nervously. Peter, quickly, I don't know what you're talking about. He steps away from the fire, heart pounding. Chapter 3. The first denial scene. Peter moves toward a corner of the courtyard, avoiding eye contact. The girl, now more curious, follows him. Servant girl, pointing at Peter, I'm sure of it. You was him. Peter, shaking his head, voice firmer. I don't know the man. The girl frowns but turns away. Peter breathes heavily, his hands trembling. Chapter 4. The second denial scene. The fire flickers, casting shadows. A man near Peter eyes him suspiciously. Man, narrowing eyes, wait, you're one of his disciples. Peter, angrily, no, I am not. A rooster crows in the distance. Peter flinches but shakes it off. Chapter 5. The third denial scene. More people join the conversation, murmuring and staring at Peter. A burly soldier steps forward. Soldier, grinning, you talk like a Galilean. You must be one of them. Peter, furious, shouting, I swear I don't know him. Suddenly, the rooster crows loudly. The sound cuts through the night like a knife. Chapter 6. The lug scene. Inside the high priest's house, Jesus is being questioned. Suddenly, the guards pull him outside. Jesus looks directly at Peter. His eyes, full of sorrow, meet Peter's. Peter, frozen, realization dawning, voice trembling, oh no, tears well up in his eyes. He stumbles backward. Chapter 7. Peter's escape scene. Peter turns and runs through the dark streets of Jerusalem, gasping for breath. His vision blurs with tears. Peter, whispering, what have I done? I denied him 3 times. He collapses near a stone wall, burying his face in his hands. Chapter 8. The weight of betrayal scene. Peter sits in an alleyway, head in his hands. Flashbacks of Jesus' miracles, teachings, and love flood his mind. Peter, voice breaking, I swore I'd never leave him. And yet, soft echoes of Jesus' words, before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Peter sobs uncontrollably. Chapter 9. Dawn breaks scene. The city is quiet. The sun begins to rise. Peter, exhausted and broken, wipes his face. Peter, whispering, but he said he would rise again. Hope flickers in his eyes. He stands, slowly making his way back toward the disciples. Chapter 10. Redemption awaits scene. A distant shoreline, days later, Jesus, resurrected, stands by a fire, calling Peter to him. Jesus, softly, Peter, do you love me? Peter, tears in his eyes, yes, Lord, you know I do. Jesus, smiling, then feed my sheep. Peter, overwhelmed with love and forgiveness, falls to his knees. He is restored. The end.